Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz with a quick little review of three big, long Handel operas. And the reason I'm doing this is because they're available in this box. It's still around. You know, Deutsche Grammophon, these are European somethings. Archive, I don't know what sublabel. This is Eloquence, but I don't think it's Australian Eloquence. I think it's the old Universal Eloquence from Germany. And they've stuck like piles of things in just a little flimsy cardboard hoogie what's it. And one of the things in the flimsy cardboard hoogie what's it is three glorious recordings by Marc Minkowski and his Musiciens du Louvre in Handel's Giulio Cesare and Ariodante and Hercules. I mean, three stunningly fabulous pieces in marvelous performances. Absolutely first class. And it's cheap. I mean, this is 9 CDs, and it costs like $20 or something, 20 some odd bucks. It's cheap. It's a great way to get it. Now, of course, you don't get the libretto. You don't get, the sung text, but you can find them easily enough. And, they're all online now, all this stuff. And boy, oh boy, these are great pieces. And you get a booklet here that tells you who's singing what. Maybe you even get like a synopsis. I didn't even look at the booklet. I was so excited to see this stuff. Nah, no synopsis. But you do get the track listings. There, track listings. Okay? So there you go. I mean, it's cheap. It's packaged cheaply. It's made cheaply. Everything about it's cheap. The only thing that isn't cheap is the performances. Now, just briefly, Giulio Cesare is the greatest Baroque opera ever written. It just is. You have to take my word for it. It's about 3.5 hours long. It has the most amazing development of character in the Baroque style. The way that these operas worked in Handel's hands anyway, not necessarily other composers, is that he creates character through the arias. And each aria advances our knowledge of that character. And by the end, we feel that we've had the opportunity to encounter some real flesh and blood creatures, however crazy the plot and however stereotypically, the whole rest of it is. Now, Giulio Cesare has a whole bunch of wonderful roles. I mean, in addition to Caesar and Cleopatra, there's the bad guy Ptolemy, there's Ptolemy's soldier's friend, there's the captive couple and her son. I mean, I'm not even going to get, you don't need to know names. And then there's Julius Caesar and Cleopatra, who each have 8 arias, 8 big Baroque da capo arias. And each aria gives you 2 for the price of 1 because you have a contrasting middle section. Then the first part comes back with ornamentation. And they also sing some duets, a couple duets. And by the time this whole thing is over, 3.5 hours later, you really know Julius Caesar and Cleopatra. And you really enjoy them as human beings, as people. It's wonderful. Just a thrilling piece of this performance is stunning. The cast is, for Julius Caesar, is Mariana Mijanovic and Magdalena Kozina and Anne-Sophie von Otter and Charlotte Helicont and Bejun Mehta, and they're great. And Minkowski's great. He uses a really big orchestra. I mean, this is the biggest orchestra that Handel ever used in an opera. I mean, it's got like mandolins and ukuleles and stuff and, horns and things. And there's all kinds of stuff in this opera. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So this is definitely a great performance of it. Then you get Ariodante. Now, Ariodante is not as well known as Julius Caesar, but it is really just as great a work. It's fabulous. Ariodante's a knight. He's up in Scotland somewhere. He's in love with the king's daughter, and there's another guy named Lycanthrope or something. He's not a werewolf, but he sounds like that. And he's trying to trick Ariodante into believing that his girlfriend is fooling around with somebody else, and his girlfriend agrees to do it, and there's a whole confusion, and in the end it all gets sorted out, and Ariodante fights a duel, and he wins, and the other guy dies, and they get together, and they're all happy. It's a stunningly fabulous opera, and it has a great deal. Baroque opera is supposed to be like, recitative aria, recitative aria, recitative aria. Ariodante has a lot of continuity, a lot of musical continuity. It's written in big scenes. It has ballet elements in it because there was a dance troupe hanging around England for a while. Marie Sallet and her group, so Handel wrote for them. It's really marvelous. And this is a great performance. This is one of Anne-Sophie von Otter's best ever roles as Ariodante, and Lynn Dawson and Ava Podlish and Veronica Kangemi and Richard Croft and Dennis Sedoff. And oh, they're all wonderful, fabulous. It has two of Handel's absolute best arias. There's Scherza in Fida, which is go ahead, enjoy yourself, you traitoress, on the arm of another man. Ha 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 ha. It's Ariodante's great lament, and it's beautiful. And then his triumphant final aria, Dopo Notte. The night is gone, the sun's coming up, everything's great. You know the deal. It's amazing. Finally, last but not least, in this pile, you get Hercules. And Hercules has the all-time greatest Baroque mad scene ever for Hercules' wife, Deianira, who is consumed with jealousy. Oh, my God, it's an amazing scene. It's a great story. Hercules comes back with, a captive young nubile thing. His wife is terribly jealous. That wants to win his love back. She listened to, Nessus, the evil centaur who had her dip the robe in his blood. And he died saying to her, don't use it unless you need to, but it'll make him love you. Well, it's actually poisoned. It'll make him die in horrible agony. And he does, which is also a great scene. Hercules' death scene is fabulous. And then Deianira goes insane and she sings, where shall I fly? Oh, it's just amazing. And this one also has Anne-Sophie von Otter, Gideon Sachs, who's a wonderful Hercules, Richard Croft, Lynn Dawson, David Daniels, all those wonderful people, all brilliantly conducted by Minkowski and Les Musiciens du Louvre with chorus and other people. And it's great. This is a great, inexpensive Handel box. And if you don't know Handel operas, if you get this, you will have the best possible start to getting yourself into this amazing world that Handel created in three of his absolute, uncontroversially recognized masterpieces. Totally fabulous, and I love every bit of this. It's just great. So go for it. And keep on listening, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care.